Welcome back to Games Revealed. My camera is not right. Might be a little bit grainy today because I'm using a new piece of software I need to fully register. But let me, while we wait for some people to trickle on in, I'll welcome you guys in here in a second. Just give me a second as I get my chat going again. That is not the right one. There we go. Okay. Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community. I have been doing more of these, if you haven't known. Well, streaming. I've streamed every week, almost even when I've been sick. So, but we're getting back into it. If you haven't noticed, I've released a few more videos. Wolf, Cascoder, welcome. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Let's see here. Okay. Let's get this a little bit more set up. Okay. I think we're, well, okay. Sorry, I have a whole new setup kind of thing going on, and so, okay. Let's do this. Okay. Truck, welcome. How are you doing? It sounds like Wolf is doing all right. Cascoder, how are you doing? It's been a little bit. We still need to do the podcast episode. Let's see if I can get this kind of. Ooh, let's be this way. Okay. Okay. So, if you haven't noticed, I'm using a new browser. It's called Arc. Yeah, Arc, and I just have to say this before going into everything. On Windows, it can be a little buggy on Windows for a little, and I've heard good things about Arc, but I didn't use it until I knew that it would be on Windows, and it wasn't on Windows until I think a month ago. But it's much more feature rich on the Mac and on my phone though. It is a pretty awesome browser. It has built-in ad blocking. It has better organizational pieces to it, and it's got spaces. I really like it so far. So, got to do a call out there to Arc. It's free, and it has AI stuff built into it, which I know that's like a trigger thing, but when it comes to summarizing information, it's kind of nice. I'd show you here if we were on the Mac. We're not on the Mac, so yeah. Let me do one more quick thing, actually, before we continue. Continue, and we'll wait for a little bit more peeps to the funnel on in. Just need. Okay. Sorry, just need to wrap up. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's wrong one. Okay, so Reiji, welcome. PC hardware can't go on a diet nowadays. Transistors are asking for more and more power, and small bodies can't cool off those modern chips. Well, in this case, I guess it is. Also, a little bit of pre-announcement. Zotac is releasing a handheld, and so this is like before I even was planning this whole stream, this popped up, and so we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Lenovo. We're going to talk about Ayaneo. We're going to be talking about a bunch of news today. And then I'm going to do a special stream later this week, I think, or I might just do a video. We'll see on something I have planned. Cascoder, Sony's new CEO says delayed PC releases are to sell sequels on PS5. It's not being taken very well by PC gamers who don't want to pay $570 for a sequel to games on their PC. Wait. Sony's been delayed PC releases are to sell sequels on PS5. Well, they've already come out with the sequel to Horizon Forbidden West, right? That's the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. And so I don't know if that's fully like they delay it obviously, and they artificially delay it because they want the people to potentially buy it twice and maybe buy a PlayStation 5. I get it. They run the risk of me just not buying the game. Some games I haven't bought. I want to play Horizon Zero or Horizon Forbidden West. I just haven't bought it yet. I'll probably get it on sale, honestly. If they would have released it when it first came out, I probably would have bought it along with it. So they do run the risk of doing some damage like that to Cascoder, but it's not a bad business move on their side. It's the options there if you want it. If you don't buy it. There's so many. We've gotten to the age. It's like the Gilded Age. We have too many games to where I think companies are starting to. Sales are slowing down, but then again, economy is not. It's doing really well in certain areas and really doing bad in other areas. So it's really hilarious. It's not because it affects real people, but it's interesting. Reichi, well, we only care about Ghost of Tsushima and Bloodborne. They can keep the rest. What if there's a Ghost of Tsushima 2? So, Reichi, what if? He's thinking if someone liked Spider-Man on PC, they'll buy a PS5 to play Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to come out for the PC, isn't it? Or am I thinking about that wrong? Okay, let's go into this. Zotac to debut, limit pushing handheld gaming PC, and showcase AI-centric computing solutions at Computex. I'm so tired of this AI-centric thing. They're machine learning. It's not AI yet. None of it's truly artificial intelligence. They're just trained systems to help generate content and recognize things. Like, it's only one small slice of what an AI really should be, but we're getting there. We're filling in the pie with different pieces. Excuse me. I am still sick, but yeah, don't mind me. Let's see here. Let's go. I actually haven't looked at this. This just was shown to me. I just looked it up. Reichi, Horizon Forbidden Sleep is boring. It's hard to keep my eyes open. Zero Dawn is way better. Oh, really? I think Horizon Zero Dawn in the beginning was kind of boring, honestly. Like, it was cool to get it, but I want to get into the main story, and that one would have been more interesting almost as a DLC. Maybe, I don't know. Like, if I want to go play the game over again, I have to go through that whole intro, and I don't want to do the intro again of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's like hours I swear to get through that. Okay, so Zotac Gaming Zone at the forefront of Zotac's presence at Computex 2024 will be the unveiling of Zotac Gaming's brand new Zone. We're in the zone. Handheld Zone, that is a high performance portable PC designed from the ground up with quality controls and top end specs such as a beautiful 7-inch AMOLED. I don't know. I can't pronounce this one. I always forget. AMOLED. Multi-touch, high refresh display for crisp, smooth visuals, and a 2-stage adjustable triggers so gamers can bring their A game on the go. The 2-stage adjustable triggers is an interesting one. I'm wondering what's the point of that. Does anyone know of a controller that does a 2-stage adjustable trigger system? I do think the AMOLED screen is interesting choice. Once again Remove some of that bezel, throw yourself an 8-inch. I think the 8-inch screen is about perfect. I don't think anything less or anything more needs to be done on a handheld. 8-inch is perfect, is what I say. Perfect size. Ever since the establishment of the Zotac gaming brand, we have strived to provide an unmatched gaming experience for enthusiasts worldwide, said Tony Wong, Chief Executive Officer at Zotac. We have made... this is just a bunch of... Okay, cool. Passion for creating premium experiences. KK. I do like Zotac video cards. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong on this, but I do like it. That's all we know so far. So I think we'll get the rest. I don't even know if I should do a video on this. Maybe I'll do a short on this, but like... it's just, it looks interesting. It looks like it's gonna be a mixture between the MSI and the ROG Ally. Because of how bad AMD or the Intel chip's been doing, I bet you the AMD chip is going to be in this, the Z1 potentially, unless there's a there's the newer APUs for it. They have a couple of routes that they can go with this, so it'll be interesting to see how Zotac does. I don't think they have... I would not assume they'd have strong enough ties to AMD to have a new chipset like a Z2. It's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think about this Zotac thing? I definitely think it's going to be... I think it's going to look good. And if they can match the specs of the Ally X for maybe $100 less, I think they are going to rock some worlds. That AMOLED is going to be pretty sick, actually. So, did my... No, I don't think it froze. Okay. So, to get on to the main topic, not really the main topic. These are all going to be short. Nothing. I wouldn't say there's been any major news except for one that I haven't covered in the past couple of weeks, but we'll get to that in a second. We're getting a Lenovo Legion Go Lite. Lenovo is potentially working on a more affordable PC gaming handheld. There's no, we know that they're working on a Legion Go next device, meaning it's either going to be the Legion Go 2, Legion Go Lite, Legion Go X kind of factor of things. We do know that they're working on something else. So if you like, and the thing is, I've read through this already. I don't know if you guys have too, but everything I've heard about the Legion Go Lite is just turns me off even more. So yeah, let's get into some of the speculation. Dubbed Legion Go Lite, the Lite version will sport the same Z1 range from AMD, but will sport some refinements over its predecessor, which there was a lot to refine with that system. That system was very clunky. We're not entirely sure exactly what those refinements will be, but the Lite moniker could give us some hints. Perhaps it will have a slightly smaller display. Maybe it'll ditch the detachable joysticks, like similarly named Nintendo Switch Lite. Lite also hints at a more affordable price point, perhaps shying away from the Lenovo Legion Go starting $630 price range for something more palatable. And there's no way. The Lite is probably going to be... It might get rid of... It might bring it down to... I read somewhere that would be a 5.5-inch screen, which is just... That's ridiculous. If they did a 5.5-inch screen, I just don't know. I don't think that would do well. I don't think the price for the Legion Go is actually that bad for what you get. You get a lot more than you get with the ASUS one, but the problem is that the Ally X solves all the problems with the Ally, mainly battery. So it will be interesting to see if they go to, like, let's say a 7-inch screen, reduce the price just by like $50 to $100, and then maybe remove the detachable portion to it. I feel like that's what kind of makes the Legion Go kind of special, is the detachable and kind of what they have going there. But if they did that and shrank it by like half, then I wouldn't be able to shrink it by half, but like quite a bit, then maybe Lite. But I'm really worried that we're going to be getting into the same Z battles here. We're going to have Legion Go. We're going to have Ally. We're going to have the Ayaneos do venture off and do something different. Some of these other brands, GBD and all that. But I am afraid that we're going to be getting very similar handhelds from all these, and it's going to be really hard to just. It's going to get into the laptop wars where you have to really dig deep to see which one's the best one. So we'll see on that. Mobile Decay, welcome. Truck, I think they really need to slow down on pumping out the handhelds. I understand companies have to make money, but this space has become very saturated very quickly. Spell good, easy to make the most powerful handheld if price is not an issue. I think we need a good price performance screen ratio in the future of handhelds. Don't worry, guys. So how this is all going to work, they're going to want to make as much money, of course, but competition is going to help with that a little bit. Here, I've already predicted this. This is something I've been saying if you've been around for my channel for a while. This is not to to brag or anything. I'm just saying, like, I've already talked about this multiple times. More and more of these laptop companies are going to get involved, and they're going to start making probably yearly upgrades to it. It's going to be a laptop iteration. It's one of those things where I like that we can get this. Like, I like the idea that every year, if I want to skip, let's say 2 years, I have, like, it's like with the iPhone, right? I don't have to buy every iteration of it. And neither do you. Yes, it muddies the waters a little bit, but you can wait a generation or two and then decide. Instead of, like, if it's a 3-year gap, then you're like, well, then I have to wait 3 years. And then if I buy it after a year or two it's been out, then, I'm not, it's just really weird with the upgrade cycles. So when you do it yearly, it is nice to know that, like, hey, every year I can kind of expect it to come out with a new version that I can buy. And because they're just laptops that are handheld versions, it doesn't matter driver-wise that much, as long as they're including similar driver. Like, if they have the same form factor, like with the detachable Legion Go controllers, if they keep on doing that gimmick, or it's not really a gimmick. It's fun, but I just never found myself using them very often. I did like that I could do it, though. I did like that. But if they continue supporting it, then the drivers will get better because they're not going to change much. If they keep on doing a detachable, they can just evolve and improve. So with every iteration, it'll just get better. So it's, as far as support goes, it could cause issues when there's a big upgrade cycle to not supporting an old system, but that's just how these are just going to go the way the laptops are going to go. I say let them. These are laptop companies, Lenovo, whatnot. If you don't want to support that type of company, don't do it. Like, Steam Deck's great. I, for one, have a main PC, and so I really like having Steam Deck as my main, and then my ROG Ally is my secondary for portable PC gaming on the go, where some of the games just don't play. Like, Starfield is much better on the Ally. So, Mobile Decay, Legion Go Lite sounds as interesting to me as the MSI Claw, so it doesn't sound interesting to you. Right? Or no? I know that the MSI, like, the Intel chip does not perform well. It takes, to get the same performance, it takes a lot more wattage. So, or more watts. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's just, let there be competition. Let them battle it out. I think we as consumers are going to be the winners here, and we can figure out if we want to. I'll cover this stuff because it's fun to cover. I like new stuff. So, like, them doing this stuff every year makes it so that there's more for me to cover and talk about. But I'll be honest, like, the Steam Deck's route of, even if the Steam Deck upgraded every year with a new APU, the way that they're supporting that system, I don't think would be as big of a deal. But we know that that's not how they're going to do it. I think we'll be lucky if we get a Steam Deck 2 or anything past that. If anyone knows Valve, they get a little sidetracked with their projects sometimes. So they could go and be like, okay, we got the Steam Deck 1, we're loving this. Okay, we finished Steam Deck 1, we're going to create the Steam Deck, and they have a bunch of other different options because they're working on AR or VR and all that. And I just hope they don't get distracted, because it happens. We don't have a Half-Life 3 because they get distracted. They've canceled dozens of games over the decades because they get either distracted or they like to try new things, which is, they're innovative. That's where they spend their money, which is good for us. But also they're very skittish. They've tasted fame and they don't want to mess it up. So it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. Mobile decay. I love my Legion Go because of the big screen, detachable controllers, and eGPU support. Agreed, mobile decay. And I do like eGPU support. I think all these devices need to have eGPU support. The Ally X will have the eGPU support, which is awesome. I'll be honest, it really bums me out that the Ally X isn't like extra with an 8 point, or just, I don't need the 8.8 inch screen is nice, but just give me an 8-inch screen. That's all I wanted. The Legion Go, until they can figure out their software issues and a couple other issues with the Legion Go, I'm gonna like the Ally more. Once again, I get it that like there's mobile decay. Like, I'm fine with you liking it. Like, I know that there's people that love the system, and I'm glad for you. But this comes down to a preference thing for me. And I do love the concept of Legion Go quite a bit. Raichi, PC gamers are the most patient gamers, followed by Xbox gamers. Are they, though? Or are you being sarcastic, Raichi? I feel like the gamer, like all the loud gamers that are out on the webs are not patient, and they get very upset and very uppity about everything. You just can't, you can't cater to the people. It's very difficult. Handheld PCs should be modular. Display, controller, PC. You want to upgrade APU, swap the mini PC. The problem is once you get a modular, you get bulky. That's just how it is. There's a reason why they've stopped doing certain things on phones and all that. It's because it will add bulk and it makes it so it's not as waterproof the more you make it modular. I do want a modular. Like the Steam Deck, let's say the Steam Deck, technically it is modular. I mean, you could rip it all out, right? I agree, though. I would love to see these things become modular. They're not going to. They're going to make more money by not making them modular, which is crappy because I don't like e-waste. But I think in about 10 years, well, probably about 8 years now is what we have left of this mobile golden age, where we're going to be seeing devices get better and better and better. And I think in about 7 to 8 years, and it probably could be a lot sooner, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, it's going to hit like a super plateau, and we're just going to have that for a while until the true AR and VR come out. So yeah, we'll see. They're going to be able to do some pretty cool things, I think, for the next few years, and I think it's going to plateau quite a bit. Desktop PCs are very similar. They went for about a decade and a half, and then they plateaued. Desktops do not do anything different, really. Cascoder is a very impatient person. I could see that, Cascoder. I could see it. I'm impatient too. It just depends on what it is. Mobile decay. I guess we wait years for ports, lol. Are you talking about like what kind of ports? Ports for games, or the Ally X has 2 USB ports now. They got rid of their eGPU proprietary port, and they're replacing it with a USB 4 that fully supports display ports and all that stuff. So we're going to be getting eGPU support with the Ally X for games. Yeah, I'm going to be doing an announcement video for the whole channel. I'm going to be still doing a lot of the hardware and some games, and then I'm going to be getting into a little bit of some series like game developments, stuff behind it. I know Raichi, I believe Raichi, you asked about doing a video on why games are worse now than they were 10 years ago, and the answer is not necessarily what you'd expect. They're not. Complexity adds to all this, and I can safely say this from working on my own game, but also working on. I've worked for over a decade. I'm getting old at this point. I've worked for almost 15 years on software, and so it's all evolved. It's all got more complex, and it's because software is just what people are wanting. Complexities of features, things are very complicated, and I don't think you would be. I think you'd be surprised if we tried to make the same game that we made 20 years ago today, with a AAA budget. It's a hit or miss whether or not. Like, people are going to complain. They're like, look, there's even been games that have had crappy graphics where they kind of cheated it, and people are like, they cheated us. So it's really difficult, but it'll be a fun video that I'm going to do that on. Why games are worse now. I don't think that's the case, but that's a very, very large opinion, though, and I think it has a lot of complexities and contexts that are need to be gathered together for it. So I'm gonna have some fun with that series. I've been writing actually that series. I've been writing more scripts lately for the channel, so expect a lot more videos. Okay, Cascoder ports for PlayStation games to PC. Yeah, that's going to, like you said, Cascoder, that is going to be a while for some of these ports. You might just want to get a PlayStation 5. Me, I have a PS5. I just don't play it. I have so many games on the PC. I haven't been able to do it. I was talking about patience. I guess we wait years for patience. You're okay. I spelled it wrong. Again, I give up. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Mobile Decay. No problem. Okay, let's mosey on to the next one. Ayaneo, this is an interesting one right here, and this is what we kind of talked about a little bit with the modular PC. Ayaneo launches motherboard upgrades for the majority of its older handhelds. Refreshed new models are coming too. Let's zoom in on this so you guys can see this better. So Ayaneo handhelds and Ryzen 7 8840U upgrade options. Motherboard upgrade plan. Is this something you could buy the upgrade for, or I think I kind of like wasn't sure about this. Ayaneo is also offering a path to fully replacing an old handheld's motherboard with a new one at a much lower cost than buying a new unit entirely. This is a pretty environmentally friendly and consumer friendly move on Ayaneo's part, but it already is already pretty confusing. So we crafted an upgrade refresh availability table. I think this is smart. I think it's a way for I'm looking at these costs. It's a way for them to make almost as much money without you feeling like you're spending as much. Because I guarantee that motherboard is half that cost of what they're charging. $500 for the motherboard. I bet you it's bare minimum half that, and it's probably what they were going to make off of the refresh model anyways. So at the end of the day, though, I do like that they're offering this type of stuff. It is nice. It is more environmentally friendly. I don't like e-waste. Like a lot of other people, we have limited resources on this world. And the more we can reuse everything, but also I just love buying new stuff. So I like this, though. So the Ayaneo Kun is going to have no upgrade, which makes sense. It just came out a couple months ago. I do have the Ayaneo Air 1S, and that one is an interesting one. What is the upgrade option for that? It's important to clarify one thing. If you already own an Ayaneo handheld with a Ryzen 7840, you really have no major reason to spend this much money on an upgrade. Even if it's a lot cheaper than buying a whole new refresh, the Ryzen 7 7840 and the Ryzen 7 8840 are nearly identical, besides the additional of stronger AI NPU. Oh, interesting. Better AI compute units, which will likely support version of FSR. Oh, that's an interesting little tell. I need to look into that some more. So I have I think a 6800, or no, I probably even have something even less than that. I have the Ayaneo Air 1S, I believe, is the one I have. I have to double check, but I swear it's the 1S. That's intriguing. I don't want to spend $500 though, because that the upgrade price is almost the same price for Steam Deck OLED, which is ridiculous. But I get it. I get it. Like the Ayaneo Air 1S isn't a bad device. I like it. It's just I don't know if I'd spend that. This is interesting. Oh yeah, they're running a lower promo on their Indiegogo. Yeah, that makes sense. They always charge about $50 to $100 less on Indiegogo. So there you go. If you have an Ayaneo device, go ahead and go upgrade it if you want. I personally, for that price, I would just save it for the probably Steam Deck too, or that's more than half the price of an Ally X. So I don't know. I don't mind Ayaneo devices, but I do prefer the other brands more because their support is usually just much better. Cascador, wait, a MOBO swap for a portable? Yep. I'll be honest, the Ayaneo is pretty tight, but they like to get to the SSD upgrade on the Ayaneo Air is crazy. But it's very impressive how they fit everything into the Ayaneos. I'll be honest, like it's very impressive innards. So we'll go over this real quick, but unfortunately, Ninja Theory isn't actually safe from Microsoft. So with all the layoffs that have been going on lately that we've seen, excuse me, Ninja Theory just released their game, Hellblade. It's Hellblade 2, right? And it did not do well. But here's the thing. I don't think the economy is doing okay, but it's not. A lot of prices have doubled. Food has doubled. A lot of things have doubled, and people's salaries have not doubled. We're finally catching up. It's takes a little bit, but I think we're getting to this point where people aren't buying as much. So I would say, because sales at the box office and also with games, I think are going down a little bit. I think we're going to see a little bit of a downtrend for a little bit. And it's affecting this, but partially what I heard is that also a good portion of it's good, like, or a couple of features of it are really interesting and fun, and then the main portion is just kind of boring at times. So it could also be that. I just know there's it got less players day one than the first one, and that's not usually a common thing, especially when the first one was acclaimed and everything. It's kind of weird to see that. So I'm thinking there's other tales in the economy that going on with this. So that's my 2 cents on that. Necrosphere, welcome. Ninja Theory's next game is reportedly already been greenlit. Reports released just before the launch of Senu's Saga. Hellblade 2 said that Ninja Theory's next game has already been greenlit. The studio, doesn't mean it's not going to get canceled. So yeah, I have a feeling that this is on the, like, with how good Hi-Fi did, this is going to be interesting. What other games did Ninja Theory create again? Because I'm surprised that they weren't a part of the chopping block. Maybe it's because they had a game so close to release. Kung Fu Chaos, Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, Devil May Cry. Okay, Devil May Cries are pretty popular. Even I think the remake, but they did the remake. Interesting. I think the remake did okay. None of these games are killer hits. That's interesting. They're all done okay, like decent. That's crazy. Interesting. Mobile Decay. I got Game Pass to try Hellblade 2. I like the first game a lot, but the second one seems like you could win by pushing forward on the analog stick. from my understanding, the first one was like that with a bunch of puzzles, right? It was also difficult, which is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting how they did that with the second. Maybe they followed too many people's like opinions who didn't like the game when they should have been listening to the fans that did like it. They did Devil May Cry, yes, Devil May Cry, which is hated, but I liked it. It's the remake one, right? The complete refresh. So it didn't need that. If I'm not mistaken, they're the ones that did the full refresh. It did not need that. Devil May Cry is a very good series and did not need a refresh. DMC, yeah. Devil May Cry, DMC. Was the full refresh. I actually I never got to play it yet. I own it. Just like everything else in my backlog, I haven't got to it yet. I will get to it though, because I have them downloaded on my Steam Deck. I like the Devil May Cries, and I honestly, I didn't like that they remade it. It just didn't need to be remade, or like they completely redid it. Like it was a refresh of the franchise. That game was. I was still interested in it though. Cascade, I went through it when they gave it away for the PS3 via PS Plus. I might even have it on my PlayStation. Okay, I wanted to do something a little different. Slightly. Let me get my headset in here. I want to see this invisible desk because I actually really like. These are always interesting. Okay. See, sorry, give me a second as I. What? It's connected. That's good to know. Let's see if it works.
Coming up in this video, we'll be working with sliding rails, pneumatics, and springs, as well as a giant heat spreader for an experimental cool.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Like I said, I have like it's called small pneumonia or like walking pneumonia, and it makes me cough. So don't mind me. I'll get better one of these days. I'm sure I'll be on the mend soon. Mobile Decay. I wonder what's going on with Sega games. Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. Any word on that stuff? Cascoder? Cascoder is like going to be the go-to for Sega games. Raichi, they made Dante into an emo instead of an edgy. The dev thought their audience changed, but it was them that changed. Was he even that edgy? I guess he was a little edgy in the original, but he also had little aspects of emo. But yeah, they made him into an emo. Like I said, it was a complete remake. I don't care that much. Like, it is annoying, but it was still interesting from what I've seen. But yeah. I want to show you.
Cooling system, all on top of dismantling an OLED monitor. And the goal? Building what appears to be a normal wooden desk. However, you are watching DIY Perks, so this desk is far from ordinary. It is in fact the end game invisible PC.
Yeah, I like that. The worst part though, I don't know what you guys think. I like that, and I would never put it down. I have a standing desk, and I rarely raise it up. I need to start doing it more and get off my butt because it's going to help my back, but that's so cool.
However, you are watching DIY Perks, so this desk is far from ordinary. It is in fact the end game invisible PC. Let's go. Now, some parts of this build are going to be super complicated, but thankfully, one thing that I won't have to design myself are the legs, as this video is being sponsored by FlexiSpot, advertising their E7 Pro standing desk system, which I'm going to be integrating completely into the build.
Dude, those suck.
Now, if you've not heard...
I'm sorry, guys.
Which I'm going to...
My socks would be worse. Between my kids and my dog, we cleaned the floors like every few days, and it's just like
be integrating completely
still
into
kinda
the
funny to
build.
see that.
Now, if you've not heard of
he's got
FlexiSpot
dots
before, they
or
make
very hairy
really
woman.
solid adjustable height desks
I guess
that
he
can
could be hairy
change the
too,
way
I
you
should say.
interact with your computer.
Short hair.
Now, thanks to the way the legs have been designed, they can actually be mounted onto custom desktops, which I'm going to take full advantage of by making a massive custom desktop so we have enough room for the various mechanisms that'll make the
We're not gonna watch the whole thing, so don't worry.
invisibility concept work. And just like my last desk PC build, I'm going to be using for its main structure 2 sheets of 3mm thick aluminium. Now, as you can see, it is somewhat bendy, but that's easy to fix with some extruded aluminium lengths.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm gonna reduce his audio a lot.
By screwing the aluminium sheets directly to these, they become a lamination, which brings some significant advantages while
that should be
remaining
much
hollow.
better.
You see, these sheets were super floppy, but just look how rigid they are now that they're bolted together. And this is going to make a fantastic desktop. So with all that done, we're now actually ready to start working on the potentially quite complex mechanism
get like
to make the hidden
metal cutting
monitor
machine.
system. Despite how complicated things are going to get, it starts out being quite easy, as cutting a hole for the monitor to fold down into only takes a few minutes using a jigsaw, as
This definitely
aluminium
makes
is
it-
quite a soft metal. Choosing a hit
The reason to do this is it's gonna be a lot lighter than the way I'd go. I'd use wood, and this also makes it so it's easier to hollow it out.
hinge for this is where things start getting a bit more involved, though. You see,
I guess since he's the way he's doing it, I guess I could just get a bunch of big things of aluminum. That'd be really expensive, but yeah.
simple hinges like butt hinges would leave a visible edge, going against the concept of the build. But what about concealed cabinet hinges? These are definitely more like it, but unfortunately they don't rotate around a stationary point, as this point literally moves as they open, making them difficult to figure out how to design around for a non-standard use case like this. Ultimately, after a lot of experimentation, I've settled on some rather unusual invisible hinges, which thankfully have a purely rotational hinge movement, making them far easier to design around. And with them mounted in place, the hatch can open and close without the hinges being visible
so
in the
cool.
closed position. Perfect.
Once again, we're not gonna watch the whole thing, even though I'm very much want to.
With this now sorted, the complexity is about to skyrocket though, as we need to use this rotational movement to affect the height of a platform in front of the hatch, basically turning rotational movement into linear movement. Before we can get going with this though, we need to measure stability.
Dude, this guy
Be
knows what he's
limiting
talking
the
about.
duty L brush. Because they're linked to the platform through the sliding sections, the platform is completely free to follow along. Cool. As you can see though, it only affects the rear side of the platform. But as the sliding section runs all the way to the front, we can actually use some extra identically proportioned brackets to exploit geometry and turn it into a parallelogram, forcing it to remain flat no matter what. With it flipped the right way up, it's now the moment of truth. Will it work? Hey, look at that! Much to my joy, this works a treat, with the opening of the hatch resulting
wondering
in the
how
platform
secure that is.
rising
Once it
up to
pops
become
into place,
flush with the rest
or is that
of
very
the desk.
you know,
The
very
most
soft?
important milestone of this build.
That's crazy. We'll get the comments here in a second.
As they are on the back, so need to be detached to be hidden elsewhere. I'll be honest, dismantling such an expensive monitor is a bit scary, but there's not too much that can go wrong so long as I'm super careful. This one is more complicated than most due to its adjustable curvature arm, but once everything is finally stripped down, I'm left with the raw OLED panel.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
It's incredibly thin and also thankfully incredibly light, but it does have some proud mounting cylinders that will prevent me from attaching it directly to the front of the monitor hatch, as they are simply in the way. My only real option is to drill holes in the monitor hatch for them to hopefully disappear into. As this is also a bit floppy though, I've made 2 identical copies to make it 2 layers thick, with some vinyl wrap around its perimeter to finish off its visible edge. Once it's reattached, a front plate can also be installed directly onto it. This again helps with rigidity, but it also provides a lip for the... I'm going to lift it up and it's going to stand on that lip And these holes at the back should allow the little noggins to go through.
And as each of these noggins has an internal thread, I can use them in conjunction with some washers to pull them tightly in place. There's just enough room on the bottom here.
Installed, the concept really is starting to come together and it's looking pretty awesome. But as this is just so unique, I think it deserves high power PC components for it.
Zotac 49.
Yeah, he's
One of
gonna
which
go
is dedicated
over all
actually from,
the expensive
so
stuff. He's
cheap.
gonna- Oh yeah, this is.
Sure that there won't be any leaks.
I think this is what
But
is this fanless?
thankfully,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about this, as the FlexiSpot desk is happy with a load up to 160 kilograms.
So me and my dad should weigh about 160 kilograms together, and the desk can handle it, no problem. It goes so high, you could actually paint a ceiling.
So many heat sinks though does mean we
Oh.
need quite a few fans to keep them all
Interesting.
cool, with the idea being that they should each work at a slow speed to operate quietly.
Well, heat
In
sinks
order
are
to take
the
advantage of their
disperse heat, right?
bidirectional
Then-
air output, I've 3D printed some air ducts that can take the rear output and push it back towards the top heatsink, so they both get cooled at the same time. Now, wiring up so many fans has the potential to be quite a tedious job, but my favourite method to speed things up is to use strips of copper tape to make some voltage rails,
That
with
makes
the
a lot of
third
sense.
strip carrying a fan speed control signal, known as a PWM signal.
This
After
is
hooking up the custom
a little extra. I don't think he needed to go this way with obviously with this, but it is pretty interesting with the fans. I'll let you guys finish the rest of the video if you want later.
The next job is to get this upright, and I think it's a bit heavy for me to do
hides
on my
pretty well,
own,
too.
so I'm going to employ some help. Oh, nice. That's good. Look how solid that is. Oh, hey, look at that. How cool is this?
If
Now
I
let's
finish
try
something like this, I'd be like, yeah, this is the best thing
out
I'll ever make in my life.
the FlexiSpot legs. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's smooth. Check that out.
And Cascoder, just to answer your question or your comment from earlier, I only have technically one screen going on right now. I have a secondary that's small right here. My other screen's upstairs because I work from 2 locations now in my house.
It becomes a standing desk. Look at that. And if you're particularly
though, as some parts make it appear much thinner and more elegant, we can employ another illusion: tapered edges. As you can see, these have an angle to their underside, which means that once they're glued to the outer perimeter, they give the desk a much thinner appearance, with only the thinner forward edge being visible. Very cool. The miter joints in particular are a really nice touch, and I've got my dad to thank for these, as he made these of 2 types of oil to give it a
Oh, he's going
and
all
it's
out, man.
surprisingly effective. And if you did know it was here though, how on earth is it supposed to be opened? Well, the secret lies with what appears to be a silver paperweight. It might appear rather ordinary, but it's actually a super strong magnet. Of course, it's not attracted to the aluminium at all, so even when resting on the desk, it doesn't give any clues away. But earlier, I embedded a steel sheet into the top edge of the monitor hatch underneath one of the bits of wood. This gives the paperweight a specific area to be strongly attracted to, allowing it to become a sort of key that can be used to open the system up.
Did a good enough job
Thanks
where it
to
actually
the internal
grabs it pretty
sliding
good.
rail mechanism, this opening action brings the keyboard platform up to be flush with the rest of the desk's surface. And because it moves so
he
thoroughly
did a
out of
good
the way
job
when
with this.
closed, there's space for pretty much
I do wonder though, after a while, I bet you after some usage, it will
anything you
deteriorate
can
a
think
little
of. Here I've not only got my full-sized mechanical keyboard and mouse, but I've built a little speaker system and dock as well. Even headphones and an audio interface can be fitted here, all to be made invisible with one simple movement.
bit. That's so crazy.
that this works so well is hugely satisfying, especially having spent
That's
so
a
many
widescreen
weeks
screen,
making sure
too.
that this mechanism works properly. And that
Widescreen
it's on
monitor.
FlexiSpot's adjustable height desk system.
Don't. The temperatures of the components keep going up and up, ultimately reaching their maximum and throttling to keep themselves from overheating. And what's worse is that this is with the fans at full pelt, making a lot of noise.
Now, this is supposed to be the end game invisible PC, so that its cooling system isn't working anywhere near where it should is pretty annoying. So what on earth is going on here, and what can we do about it?
You're not. It's
Well,
not
after some
dispersing.
experimentation,
Doing daisy chaining stuff like this is just not properly dispersing the heat. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
appears that the issue lies with the airflow path of the fans being too restricted by things
Really?
like the air ducts and, ironically, the fine fin structure of the heat sinks, resulting in
Yeah.
them barely moving any air at all. It's actually so bad that I think the best course of action is to completely remove this version of the cooling setup and come at it from a different angle.
I would
this
just
time
put-
swapping out the small bi-directional
No.
fans for some normal 140mm PC fans. You know, there's a reason why they use them in PCs, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's worth going with the crowd and not experimenting too much.
Yeah.
They do, of course, protrude beyond the bottom of the desk now, but I
still
don't
wouldn't
think
do
that
that.
this will be too much of an issue, as they are at the back after all, and will never really
I
be
would
seen.
drill.
These obviously
bottom.
can't be made to work
This is-
with the
this
old
is how I
heat
do it.
sinks, so I'm swapping them out
I
as
would
well
put it
in
at the
favour of
bottom
some
and
that have a
have it blow
significantly
out the
wider
bottom,
fin
not out the
spacing,
side.
as well as a taller height.
And I would be
this should
attaching,
help keep airflow
closed-
restrictions to a minimum.
Either a water cooling system
These
or a
heat
closed
sinks are
system. I
also
would not
from
be doing
decommissioned
this.
servers and are even cheaper
This is interesting.
than the first
It makes
set,
for a good
despite
video.
being much larger and
I
arguably
don't think efficiency-wise
900 watts
it's
of
good.
PC cool silently. And I really do mean silently. Here's a little example.
Still not bad, but
Presently listening to the audio output from this stupid unless you're literally on the floor. So there really is no compromise
Yeah.
for getting
yeah. Okay, sorry guys. I was not meaning to ignore you, but we're gonna go through all your guys' comments real quick. Raichi. OG Dante was already cool and the audience agreed. Then year later, the devs tells you this isn't cool anymore. This is the new cool. The audience hates it. The devs are different. So when it comes to like creative leads and stuff like that, people wanted their own thing. I don't think Ninja Theory was the original DMC people, right? And so Devil May Cry, and they abbreviated even. I think that's the whole point, was the DMC is a different technically game. It's a creative thing. It's a creative thing with that type. Once again, not saying that they're correct or anything, but I'm not like, I don't know. It definitely isn't as good as the OG though. Cascoder, you are very quiet compared to this. Okay, yeah, I already fixed that. Nerdified, have you played Ghost of Tsushima on any handheld? Yes, and it looks so good. I technically have a video I'm working on. I have some stuff recorded. I need to record some more footage for it, but it runs medium at 30 to 40 frames per second, consistently so far for me on the Steam Deck OLED. It is FSR 3 on it is amazing. FSR 3 shines with Ghost of Tsushima, and it shows what we're going to be capable of. If they threw that into every new game and did it just like Ghost of Tsushima, we might be able to play every game on the new, any new game on the Steam Deck, Steam Deck or Steam Deck OLED. The problem partially lies within, though, they highly optimized Ghost of Tsushima, and Ghost of Tsushima was a PlayStation 4 game originally, so it didn't take much for them to optimize. But they did. They said it in their thing that they optimized for it. So it is a game that was optimized by the developers, which is awesome. Aluminium. Yes, thank you, Cascoder. The Mad Atheist. I have a Legion Go. Bought it because I can ditch the Go cons and use it as a small Windows tablet. IMO. They should make a successor, improve on the original. I agree, Mad Atheist. They don't have a keyboard for it, though, right? You might want to look into 1X players, but it's an Intel one. They have I think it's like a 12-inch, not a 12-inch, 10-inch, somewhere around like a 10-inch, 9-inch one with a keyboard. 1X player, I think, has a couple that do that. So does GBD. You might want to look into the GBD, their mini PC gaming thing. I really liked that. I'm sad I got rid of it, but I just wasn't using it towards the end. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the tablet portion's interesting for sure. Mobile decayed. Upgrading the monitor would be fun. Well, upgrading the monitor would not be fun. Mobile decay. I watched this video. Nice. Glad to hear. I will throw. You know what? I will throw this. Let's see. Share. I'm gonna throw this out here. Did it copy? Okay. So you guys can watch it if you want. You can watch the whole thing. I just wanted to watch a little bit and talk about it. The Mad Atheist. I like to see a Go 2 with a USB-A port. The bottom USB-C port moved to the center. Why USB-A? I think we need to really just get rid of anything USB-A and go with USB Type-C ports. And if you have any old devices that need to work with Type-C, you just have adapters. And we just finally rid ourselves of A ports, of the original port. Port moved to the center for a better dock idea, make a better case to house a PSU, and included a controller, a joiner, battery, taller, deep. Yeah, agreed. I think that they need to make it more of a smoother chassis with the Go 2, and then ultimately the biggest problem that I had was the software. If they can improve the software, that's a huge win for me. Mobile decay. When I need to upgrade anything, I'd had when I need to upgrade anything. I'm waiting for Cascoder. I'm waiting for Linus to show up in this video. He doesn't show up, right? That would be hilarious. Cascoder, this is the rare instance where I think the brown Noctis fans would look well with the wood color. They don't look too bad. Big ugly fan. Wolf does not agree. But Octus fans are quiet, so he went with just a quiet fan anyways. The Octus brown, but the Nocta brown that is, and. It's they are ugly though. Raichi, Steam needs to create an in-house upscaler frame gen. Yeah, built-in like frame generator. They don't really need to though. AMD already has it. With FSR3, like AMD's. Everything that they're doing, as long as they work with Steam Deck, they don't need to do it. They just be reinventing the wheel. They can also kind of force it. Cascoder, can FSR3 be implemented at the OS level for the Steam Deck? No. Yes and no. FSR... parts of FSR3 have to be, or at least the old version, I think, had to be custom coded, but newer versions don't need to. They can just work with, as long as your APU supports it. What's up? Oh, Chad, Cat, and baby, welcome. Haven't seen you guys in a week or two. Glad you're able to stop on by. That Cat Smith for you. Welcome. How are you doing? What'd you do now, Cat Smith? Did you do it? Did you get something? Let's move on to some. I just gotta say, this desk is amazing. I'd love to do a project like this. Maybe I'd stream it one day, but you know I would not get that nearly as correct. You've seen me do my projects, and they're not nearly as clean. This is an interesting one. With all the closures, AMD Games is opening up a new studio. What are they building? Oh my gosh, I didn't look through this one. I apologize. So the Burchest wing of Amazon Games will be headed by the Kristen Pana, a former Ubisoft executive with more than 20 years of experience building video games, according to Amazon. He worked with the franchises like Far Cry, Tom Clancy, The Division, The Crew. He says he's excited to join Amazon Games in order to get the chance to work on the company's exciting roadmap, as well as announcing this interview with. Yeah, if he does stuff like this, you could probably safely bet that there's going to be an action shooter game coming out. And let's see, Amazon come after the company's gaming division laid off around in back. So what they're probably doing is restructuring because their last project didn't do well, and so it tends to happen. They want to restructure and see if they can try it again. With some of this, I will, prediction-wise, watch out for the next few years for an announcement for an interesting game. I think that Amazon Studio might actually have that I'd be interested in. Their games usually from the Amazon Studios isn't as interesting for me. Wolf. Oh yeah, okay. That Casper 3, I just like to laugh maniacally sometimes. Okay, that's a new development with you. Glad that you've become an antagonist. Welcome. Raichi, yeah, Prime Games. Prime Games. You'd do better than RGT 85. Nice. Cat Smith Ryu, nice on the haircut. Okay. This is the one thing I actually do want to talk about, and maybe one or two other things today. But the unannounced Valve 6v6 shooter MOBA footage leaked, and it sounds like this is already canceled. You can see this is May 22nd. I keep on forgetting to add this to the stream or even look into it. But yeah, I had a closed beta gameplay, showcase 19 plus characters for 4 lanes and a rail system, which is unfortunate because it sounds like it was canceled. Oh, you do better to get that. I think there's a lot of choices that could have been better, but you know, with all this, we always can assume that we can, you know, there's always like criticisms after things are done. I'll be honest. This looks like Overwatch. Yeah, this looks like Overwatch. Valve, what are you doing? I haven't seen that video yet. See some of this. There were only 1,000 consecutive players in a 24-hour period. Was it a private, though? So, Wolf, I never heard about anything like this. This is a leak. This is a private beta. So, saying that there's like 1,000 concurrent players is, I don't know if that means anything to me. Like, I'd still want them to release it. I'd still play this, but this is not what I want. It's like Overwatch meets Team Fortress almost. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it looks generic. Mobile Decay, it looks generic. It's probably alpha. It says beta, but it's probably alpha footage. Meaning, just looking at it, there's just no way it's almost done. I bet you they had probably a couple things they wanted to tweak with it, but it sounds like, let's see. Valve's an unannounced hero shooter had nearly 1,000 concurrent PC players over the past 24 hours, but the developers staying silent. Valve isn't letting anything slip officially. Yeah, it was a private beta. I can almost guarantee it, or private alpha testing. This is more of a concurrent PC players than Suicide Squad killers at nearly 2 months since early April. This is, yeah. That the Valve could be that about to reveal Deadlock, but it's official. So Wolf, you said it's canceled. I don't know if it's canceled though. Is it? Like I think that might be a rumor. It definitely doesn't look. It definitely needs to be improved upon, right? Described as a mix between Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2 influences. A Valve-focused content creator. The game will be a competitive third-person experience with 6v6 format tower defense mechanics, and it has the blend of steampunk and fantasy design. And I don't know why they should just focus on Half-Life. They should just focus on Half-Life. Half-Life Alyx was just unbelievable. Main map references modern steampunk European city, a little bit like Half-Life. Yeah, I kind of got that. Initially, game had sci-fi elements inspired by Half-Life and Portal, but after bad feedback, dev team decided to focus on fantasy. Interesting. Yeah, it's like Valorant and Overwatch 2 had a baby, honestly, is more probably a better take on like games that are successful. But that's rough. I'd play it, but they're gonna have to refine that thing, man. Catsmith, for you, I've been eating these Pringle chips that are ketchup flavor. They are so tasty, yet slightly disgusting simultaneously. So you could think of that, like, they're more than just like ketchup flavored, I feel like, but I've had them. Yeah, a lot of different cultures have ketchup flavored chips, actually. So yeah, nothing bad with them. Mobile Decay, it will have edgy teens as playable characters. Oof, I don't like that. Nerdified, Red Dead Redemption 2 is on sale right now. Is it worth $23? Never played it. Nerdified, have you played Red Dead Redemption 1? I guess 2 is technically a prequel to 1. But, so if you haven't, yes, it's worth it. It's worth the $60. It's worth $70. That game, albeit I've only played it 3 times. I've only gotten through about 5 hours of it. And that's just because I stop at a certain point once it's done with this first little arc area. And then I don't pick it up because I'm married to different reasons, and I need to pick it up finally and beat it. I loved Red Dead Redemption 1. It was really fun Western game. I highly recommend the first one, and the second one is good too. Like, it's good. People say it's much better than the first one, but I have not yet to beat it yet. So, Nerdified, recommended. Wolf, I don't know if it's canceled. Maybe I misread it. With the way Valve does things with all these games, there's a chance it could be canceled. It looks like it's far enough along that they wouldn't cancel it, but I bet you there's about a 10-20% chance it will get canceled. Bare minimum, that is an early build, and they're trying to. They might have even let them play different builds with different styles to gauge where direction they're going to go. So they could announce it soon. But looking at what we saw, they might wait because it does not. It needs some refinement for sure. It looks too generic, like Mobile Decay mentioned. Ragey, the Amazon studio should be called Whirlpool because it's laundering money. Oh my gosh, that's brutal. I don't think it's laundering. They make games that are decent enough that people like, but they need to get their crap together and make stuff that I like. Mobile Decay, my girlfriend loves ketchup chips. Nothing wrong with ketchup chips. Like ketchup chips, like ketchup flavored chips. I think you'd be surprised. They taste pretty good. Catsmith for you. Oops, I let one. Oh my gosh, that Catsmith for you is drunk. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Dave D, still worth 60. Yeah, it's still worth 60. Cascoder, oh yeah, PC never got that Red Dead Redemption remastered, did it? Forgot that came out. Yeah, did they? They didn't get that right. I heard the Red Dead Redemption remaster was bad, wasn't it? That's such a shame that they never put it on Steam. I can't believe the second one's on Steam, but the first one's not. Wolf, put Half-Life and Portal characters in it, and I'll play it. Yeah, Wolf, I will too. I'm there with you. Mobile Decay, imagine the game is just an April Fool's joke. It's not. The thing is, people, when you see a game in development, it can drastically change in 6 months alone. I think you'd be shocked how much a game can change in 6 months. Especially that type of game where they could be refining the mechanics more than the visuals. So I bet you visually they could change it pretty quickly. The mechanics is what matters in a MOBA 6v6. So someone on the team's like, I really liked 6v6 Overwatch, and then they made it 5v5, and we gotta make a 6v6 now. I can't play this Overwatch anymore. That's probably what they did. Shady's Gaming and Tech, welcome. I didn't think I would like Team Fortress back in the day. Team Fortress is pretty good, yeah. Cascoder, I mean, Amazon localized some MMOs. They didn't make them. Are you sure? I swear they built a couple of MMOs from scratch. They even built the game engine that is built on. They have a game engine. Shady's Gaming and Tech, that's exactly why I always give Valve a chance now. Oh, Valve always deserves a chance. Have they created one or two bombs? I think so. Like their card game, I don't think was very interesting to me. But then again, you know, they needed to make it more like Hearthstone, and I would have been down. They just overcomplicated it, the mechanic. And Dota is not my favorite. League of Legends is my favorite MOBA style game. So, and I'm kind of over those types of games. I want good old Portal or Half-Life games, man. Valve, give me the good stuff. That Casmith for you. I actually have never drank alcohol such as, and hopefully never will. No, you're good. I was joking, Casmith for you. You're good. You're good. Esoteric Wolf. I haven't played Team Fortress. Well, it's free, and I think it's not as bot heavy now. Like a couple years ago, it was like haggard with bots. Like people like just creating bots and just ruining everyone's fun. It was just ridiculously stupid. Cascoder, they'll probably launch it on PC via the Rockstar launcher for a year. Yeah, probably. Mobile Decay, did you see the original footage for Dead Island 2 by the other studio? Yeah, Dead Island 2, its first trailer, wasn't it not that good, right? And then it looked much better after it was worked on for another year or two. Raichi, games change quickly. I left Helldivers 2 for a month and came back to discover the game has become a bloodbath on how high the difficulty has gone. Yeah, no, that didn't take very long to change. They made it drastically harder to solo, which is kind of annoying. I don't like that. Gamer Guy 78, welcome. Cascoder, thanks for all the awesome artwork for my retro games. Dude, yeah, Cascoder, yep, Cascoder, man, he does retro work. He does all that, is it Steam Grid or whatever website? Yeah, Cascoder's awesome. Casmith for you, I knew you were joking. Okay, good. I don't want to offend. Okay. CDPR says that Witcher 4 will be different from Witcher 3. We don't want to be stuck in the same spot. Oh, yay. They're going to do the Valve thing. They're like, Witcher 4 is going to be a MOBA. I'm sorry. Could you imagine Witcher 4 being a MOBA? They're like, it's going to be 6v6. We don't have enough characters in the universe to maybe have 12 distinct characters, but it's going to be 6v6 battle royale. Yeah, no, it's... I wouldn't want them to just... I wouldn't... I think I'd be lying. I want them to make Witcher 4 to be just like Witcher 3, but with completely different areas, with some of the same areas, but like advanced a few years, and better graphics, and similar stories. That's all I want. I don't ask for much, but at the end of the day, I think it's smart to try not to be stuck in the same spot. You can get very stale staying there. As long as they keep up with the progression from like 1, 2, and 3, 4 is going to be an amazing game. So we'll see. The Witcher Polaris is still a role-playing game. However, there will be some changes versus The Witcher 3. We don't want to be stuck in the same spot. We just want to push the boundaries and discover new ways of telling the story. We want to move in the next direction, so you may expect new things in the next Witcher game. Yeah, are they going to deviate hard from like the story of the books, though? We certainly don't want another Cyberpunk 2077 launch fiasco. I'd be surprised if they do that. First-person shooter. And it's going to be... Siri is going to go... Is it Siri? It's Siri, right? Or am I just thinking frickin' of iPhone? She's gonna go to the cyberpunk world and start blasting baddies over there. Mobile Decay, have you played X Defiant? I have not yet. Witcher 4 will be a card game. Witcher, dude, there's a lot of people that would love that would love a card game, a Witcher card game, and that's it. But they already did come out with one. You can go look it up. I have not played this yet. X Defiant, huh? It looks like a semi-futuristic Call of Duty clone. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm. I mean, it looks interesting. Let's see what Jake whatever.
Welcome back to another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight-up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, skill-based matchmaking, SBMM for short.
It looks good.
That's the word of the day, and the hook that Ubisoft is using to try to bring some attention to the newest free-to-play FPS, X Defiant. It's a word that's become increasingly.
It looks like their other game, their post-apocalyptic game, just first-person shooter.
Controversial in online multiplayer servers. A lot of people starting to turn on the entire concept, and this game is jumping into the discourse with both barrels. The developers threw down the gauntlet with this statement where they said, in no uncertain terms, we, the developers, believe that no spum is paramount to fun and a varied game experience in the long term, and said that there would be no skill-based matchmaking in the casual playlist. If you've played enough COD, or at least have been paying attention to the community lately, this is a big deal. Skill-based matchmaking is when a game tries to match up players of a similar skill level, which doesn't sound that bad at first glance. It just sounds like a more even...
It looks like Counter-Strike Division. That's what they should have called it. Counter-Strike Division.
Playing field, but it can also be a drag where every game's repetitive, and you can tell how it's going to be decided within the first 30 seconds. Without skill-based matchmaking, X Defiant hopes to make matches that are more varied and fun for casual players. A fine idea, but unfortunately, the issues surrounding the game are more interesting than the game.
I think that the level design's pretty cool.
Have you played Call of Duty? It's like that, with some pretty standard hero players thrown in. X Defiant is a free-to-play 6v6 or 4v4 team-based arena shooter, and if you've ever played another game like this, then it's incredibly easy to jump into because it's practically the same. You've got your standard selection of guns. There's 24, but everything but the baseline weapons are locked from the start. You can slide, mantle, crouch. There's aim down sights, weapon mod.
Okay, Cascoder, this is what makes this like any game like this is a multiplayer game. How is it? How would you not have it be live service? Like what? Cascoder? Like if it's Call of Duty or any of these other, it's a live service, isn't it? Like, or am I misunderstanding live service? Like, how would it be? It'd be like impossible to not make it live service if it's purely like a Counter-Strike style game. Man, they're almost at 8 million. Cascoder, I'm surprised Tom Clancy's name isn't attached to this one. Guess even Tom Clancy wouldn't write live service. No, he totally would, and I think some of the Tom Clancy's are, but no, I'm surprised it's not called Tom Clancy's X Defiant. It's because it's not based. Yeah, what is up with Tom Clancy's stuff? It doesn't even make sense. Casmith Rio, I actually hate Siri and refuse to set it. Why? Siri's awesome on the iPhone. She's got a lot better. Mobile Decay, Witcher 4 will be mobile exclusive and will be the devs will be say, do you not have a phone? Oh, okay. If CD Projekt Red does something like that, Mobile Decay, we've lost the plot. They've gone Blizzard route. They're like, don't you have a mobile phone? Yeah, they're not going to do that. I don't think Witcher 4 is going to be that different. I think they're just saying they want to experiment with some things and make it more interesting. Raichi, I'm surprised it isn't called Assassin's Creed Gun of Freedom. Jeez. Okay, guys. You guys are being really brutal here. Let me guess. You guys don't like Ubisoft. Let's just... Jeez, guys. Wow. I can't write any of these jokes. You guys are just being brutal. But it's funny. X Defiant looks good. It looks like a game I would like, but I just haven't been playing those types of games lately. I want to. They're just none of them quite have the right thing for me. Even Counter-Strike 2 has kind of lost me. I just like it doesn't quite have the rights. Doesn't scratch the itch well. I don't know why. Raichi, I started gaming with Ubisoft, and you've ended your. They are not the same. Well, yeah, of course. None of these companies are the same now. They, if you haven't noticed, and don't get me caught up on the whole capitalism thing. This is a capitalism thing. If you haven't noticed in the last 10 years, a lot of things have changed since we were younger, since I was younger. Game companies and everything, yes, capitalism was a thing back then, but we've really hit like the peak of like, they make so much money now, they just don't care. And they're going to maximize the things that make the most money and just fuck you over on the stuff that doesn't. Casco, hey, Catsmith. Catsmith had to message me in Steam. Well, hello, Catsmith. Catsmith is very energetic tonight. Casco to Rayman was one of my first games. Rayman is a really good game. I had PlayStation Rayman, and I like that game. I grew up playing Rayman. Ooh, you gave a gift, Catsmith. I'm always down for gifts. Nerdified, I wanted a new Shadow of Colossus. I agree, Nerdified. We don't have enough games that are in the gigantic nature of taking out a beast that's just so much bigger than you. I was gonna say a futuristic one would be kind of cool, but that's just Horizon Zero Dawn, which is cool. Yeah, a Shadow of the Colossus 2 would be really cool. I really like that game. Gamer Guy 78, does anyone like Ubisoft $130 editions of games locking game content behind top tier packages? So dumb. Yeah, I hate it. I luckily it's not happening to any games that I care about, but then again, I don't buy I'll buy some Ubisoft games like the hacker one. I like that one. Whatever it's called. Damn my memory. You know I'm an old programmer because I don't remember anything. Let's see here. Watch Dogs. Yes, thank you. Jeez. Watch Dogs. I really liked Watch Dogs is canceled. Yeah. Cascoder, thank you. I know. I really liked. I still haven't played the newest one that's in London. I really like the San Francisco one, but I like San Francisco area, so I thought it was fun to explore that area and have it be kind of make fun of Google and all that. And it's definitely very like makes fun of tech and all. Just it makes fun of it, spits in the eyes and the face of freaking IT people, but it's still fun. Thank you, Cat Smith. I will look at it after this, if that's okay. Unless it's it. I will look at it after the stream, if you don't mind. Cascoder, how did you like the Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door? Did you like it? You missed the 2004. Simpler times back then. Heck, I was young back in 2004, so it was nice. Raichi, Sony closed my favorite studio, Japan studio. White Knight, Chronicles 1, 2, Ico, Shadow of Colossus. Hold up, did they? Sony closed it? Damn. Well, that sucks. They still have the IP, so they could still have another studio make it. It wouldn't be quite the same, but yeah, that sucks. That really sucks about Shadow of Colossus, because out of all those, they're all very iconic games. But Shadow of Colossus is by far the one I like the most. Gravity Rush is another one. Yeah, Raichi. Oof. Raichi, dude, that just... But we have good news. Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica remakes are reportedly in the works. not Resident Evil 1, which you got to start somewhere. So 0 to 1, they'll have 1, I'm sure. I'd be excited to play Resident Evil 0 as a remake. I liked the original the original one was created after, I think, Resident Evil 2 or 3. No, It was created on the GameCube. It wasn't, and it was part of the whole refresh package. So Resident Evil 1, when it had a new refresh or remake back then, Resident Evil 1, they also did Resident Evil 0. And then Code Veronica is actually an underrated Resident Evil. It's pretty good, actually. And so I'm glad that they're going to remake that one because it needs it. And they should have the liberty to change a lot in that because it does have it has a lot of similarities to Resident Evil 4, actually, which is interesting. So we'll see. Raichi, did you redeem the Prime gaming games? I don't think I did. Bramble Mountain King is awesome. I don't think I have. I've redeemed some from them, but I don't know if there's anything new. Excuse me. Cat Smith 3, the gift I got you would have cost over $100, yet I paid only $26-ish. Okay, you're guilting me. Do you want me to look at it on screen? I can look at it on screen. I always forget where I'm supposed to look at it, though. Let's see. That's not. I don't know if I'm supposed to. No, I have a bunch of invites. Probably. Oh. I don't remember. I need to accept people. I always forget to. Where? It's in the announcements, isn't it? Or over here. There we go. It's the notifications. Oh, Tiny Tina Wonderland's Chaotic, great addition. Ooh, thank you, Cat Smith. That's awesome. I haven't finished Tiny Tina's Wonderland yet, and I don't have it for the Steam Deck. Or for Steam. I've been wanting to get that for a while. Thank you, Cat Smith. That's awesome. I do not have that. I will make sure to play. Honestly, I will play that and beat it. There's a Borderlands 3 or 4 has been announced, so I'm excited. I'm always down for gifts, guys. I'm not gonna beg for it, but I very much appreciate you, Cat Smith. Okay. Gamer Guy 78. If the remake 0, it needs online multiplayer for sure. Why? Oh, because it's not. To play the 2 parts, you think, though? Because it plays like Resident Evil 2. No, yes, no, yes, no. Is she always with you? I can't remember. Because you play as... there's 2 characters in it you play as. And I can't remember fully. But hopefully Code Veronica comes sooner than later. I agree, Gamer Guy. Veronica's good, and with a good, decent like remake touch like 2 had... They could make it one of the best Resident Evils, in my opinion. Today's the last day to redeem Bramble Mountain King. Good to know. I will do that after this, Rachie. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you, Cass Smith, for guiding me to where to find that. I always forget. Cascoder, I just looked at Prime Gaming's page. I had no idea my Prime subscription gave me access to Luna. Shows how poorly marketed Luna is. Amazon sucks at marketing. If Amazon was bought by Apple, it'd be the ultimate company that would just like devour everyone. We'd be slaves to the Apple Amazon combo. Luckily, they're both so big, they would never do it. They have too much ego. But Apple's amazing at marketing. Amazon sucks at it, but they make tons of products and they have a lot of stuff that's good. It's just hidden. But yeah, Luna is included with subscription, with your Prime. Gamer Guy, yes. You'd split up a lot, Rebecca and Billy. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would have to see it because it's been a year since I played Resident Evil 0, but I could see that one. If they do the remake, having it have co-op would be fun. I agree with that. Is this the Wolf? Which one is this one that's free? This is the... I'm going to leave the safety. Let's see. Yep. This Warhammer Gladys Relics of War is free right now. They have a whole sale going on. They do this every once in a while, but yes. Gamer Guy 78, but a reimagined game could expand on the different paths and cooperation aspects of the game. Casmith, for you, I have over 1,270 hours in Minecraft. I want to say something. That's a lot, but not that much. I have way over that in Counter-Strike when I was much younger. But that's awesome. Hope you've made some good stuff with Minecraft. Wolf, Killer Clowns has advanced access right now, but full release June 4th. I hate clowns so much, but I'm so intrigued by it. Can you just tell me, guys, why is Killer Clowns so intriguing, yet I hate clowns? I've been trying to talk Susie into staying at the Clown Hotel. I think it's in Nevada. It's either Nevada, Arizona, or Southern California. It's somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but the Clown Hotel or Motel, it's actually a motel, would be an interesting stay, to say the least. Gets that horror aspect of me going. Maybe I should do a vlog on the Brink channel and do that, shouldn't I, Wolf? Raichi, Xbox, finally a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. Nice. Amazon and Xbox suck at marketing. Xbox isn't too bad, but yeah. They definitely, lately have done much worse. They used to be better, and I feel like, yeah, they have a good concept. They just need to market their ideas better. Because I think they're putting all the pieces in play to really take Sony on. And I think the next 5 to 10 years, in about a couple of years when Xbox's long-term plan kicks in, I think you're going to see a lot more competition against PlayStation. Wolf, 7 Days to Die full release Alpha 22 Exodus version 1 also coming. Yes. Oh, Wolf, we need to get a server going. We need to play some 7 Days full release when it comes out. That looks awesome. Cascoder, Gears of War 1 still has one of the best commercials. It does. It has a good one. Raichi, man, you still don't know what Game Pass is. True, and yet a ton do. And I'm wondering if they've stopped promoting it as much because it really has been shredding their studios lately. Studios are not getting as good of... Hellblade 2, I think that was on Game Pass, right? People didn't buy it. That's another reason I didn't do it as well, is because it was on Game Pass. So we don't include those in the numbers, so people think it's worse than it is, maybe. But a ton of people have Game Pass. Wolf, streamer weekend for 7 days. I can't wait to play full release. Same, Wolf. I can't wait. It'll be awesome. I remember I got you guys playing 7 Days to Die, 2 years ago? I am intrigued. I don't know if I'm actually that intrigued by this. Anchor has a Steam Deck port, but it looks like a dime a dozen kind of thing. It looks like it's on par of what the Steam Deck is. The Steam Deck's official one. 90 watts pass-through charging is pretty good. $45, not too bad. Well, maybe I'll do something on it. But docks are really boring these days to me. I think we've already covered this a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago. And I need more time to unveil that. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or are we going to end this? And I'm going to go see how Tiny Tina works on on Steam Deck, because I actually haven't played it on the Steam Deck yet. Castman 3, oh, my phone needs to charge 30% I'll just stick it onto my wireless charging nightstand thingy. Nice, Gatsmith. Yeah, I have a wireless charger too for my phone. Yep, Wolf. It's been about 2 years ago. I introduced you guys to the most addictive crack cocaine. Apparently, I probably can't say that on stream, but the stuff that you've seen. So when I do ads or do the whole like ads and all that setup, like I have usually will set what I say, and I usually don't reference stuff like that. But yes, that's what it's like. Crack. Raichi, well, we will have to see if Game Pass will kill Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Is it going to come out on the Game Pass? We do have a Call of Duty somewhere in here. Didn't we? Oh, right here. Black Ops 6 reveal trailer provides first glimpse at 2004's Call of Duty. 2024's. I'll be honest, guys. Call of Duty I just have not been interested in like 5 years in Call of Duty. I used to love playing them every year for the single players, and you know what will probably happen is I'll probably go back and buy all the ones I didn't have. I want another space Call of Duty. They give me another space Call of Duty like that one that came out years ago. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. Yeah, you sent it to me. It's right here. But I don't. Context-wise, I'm just missing a lot of context because I haven't played a Black Ops or like a Call of Duty in a long time. Cascade or a dock at this point seems very late. Exactly. People will still probably buy it because they know Anchor, but yeah, it's pretty late. Wolf, we also had a 2-year anniversary for Games Revealed Discord in March. Oh my gosh, we did. We missed it. I was probably traveling, wasn't I? Cascade, the one everyone bitched and complained, so they went back to boots on the ground. I know everyone complained about it, and they did boots. They haven't experimented. I really liked it. It's my favorite Call of Duty, actually. Besides some of the original ones, some of the original Black Ops and some of the original games. Call of Duty, like the space one was amazing in my opinion. I loved it. I loved the whole concept of it was fascinating. It was like StarCraft in space, like StarCraft first person shooter. And in fact, I need to play that again. I've beaten it twice. I love that game. Gamer Guy 78. Nope. Call of Duty has been seen to me since the Xbox One came out. Has been dead to me. Yeah, I could see that. Now, if it was the space one, then no, because that one's a good one. But yes, everything else for the most part. I wouldn't mind trying them again one day, but it would have to be a really cheap bundle that I get for the single player. Yes, I was super busy. I went traveling a bunch. But I'm back, and I think I've taken care of a lot of my issues so far. So I'm doing more content. Cascader, is that the one that I paid $80 to get a Call of Duty 4 remastered? Oh my gosh, no. Gamer Guy 78. Infinite Warfare was good. After that, nah. What was the one? Is Infinite War? And once again, thank you so much, Cat Smith. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's the space one. Okay, yeah. I liked it a lot. All right. Because Advanced Warfare is always the one I was thinking it was, but it's not space, right? Advanced Warfare is just a little bit more advanced. Infinite War is the space one, yeah. I can get behind that, what you said. I can get behind you, Gamer Guy. Reichi, I never liked Call of Duty, even the campaign. Battlefield all the way. Battlefield's campaigns never were interesting to me. The gameplay, though, is fun. I love jumping into Battlefield, killing a couple of guys and jumping out. It makes it really easy for me to not commit to too long of playing. Gamer guy, nah, Advanced was like the exosuits and everything. Yeah. So cool. So cool. Love it. Wait, was that? What did they start out on? Oh, this is freaking nothing news. It's interesting for me, but not for you guys. Okay, guys, we're wrapping this up. We've hit everything. No, Advanced was like the exosuits, which was like slightly newer, right? And then Call of Duty Campaign and Battlefield Multi. That was the way. Yep, I agree with that, Gamer guy. Call of Duty Campaign, 100%. Battlefield for multiplayer. I agree with you, Gamer guy. 100%, man. We're the same. That's how I do it. That's how I roll too. And I haven't done it in a while, and I really want to. But the last Battlefield I bought was that was the newer one. I don't know if they've come out with one since like a couple years ago, and I should probably go back because they probably fixed a lot of it, but it was deeply it was just drastically worse than the one before it. Talk about a disaster of a release. I'm sorry, I don't remember names very well right now. Yes, 2042. Yes. Gamer guy, 2042 was Battlefield 3, Battlefield, all the other Battlefields are just drastically better in visuals and how the world interacted and everything. It just was drastically better. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking Battlefield 4 and 5. It's just so much better. Battlefield 1 was interesting. It got old fast for me, though. Okay, guys, I am going to be ending this. I'll be doing an announcement video, so keep an eye out for that. It will be announcing some new initiatives I'm taking on the channel. I will continue to be doing hardware news, some game news, some hardware, maybe hardware reviews, but those might go to a different channel one day just because the content's just so all over the place. And then I'm going to be doing a game dev and secrets series soon. And you can expect, I'm going to have about 2 to 3 series going on at all for the next little bit as I try things out. It won't be for game developers per se. It will be for people that are interested in game development or how their games are made. So I'll be having a series. So watch out for those. Those will be interesting, I think. And it's an experiment. So if they do well, I'm going to keep them on this channel. If they don't, I'm going to put them onto a different channel that I have set up. It's hard to manage all the different channels. So I'm not going to be committing too much, but I'm going to be committing to bare minimum 1 video a week. But my goal is to try to get to 4 or 5 videos, but that will include podcasts and all that. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to get a lot more content out for you guys. I like doing it, and I think I've tackled a lot of, I kind of in a good place now. Still with some rocky points. I think I still have to go get some more tests done, but for the most part, yeah. Yeah, so we'll have that announcement and everything. We'll start getting back into things, and then I'll start having more help. I will not be taking, I will still do giveaways. I just won't be handling them myself. I'm going to make sure someone else handles them. I really like doing them. I'm really bad at doing them, though. Because it just, once I start juggling that, I'm working on my video game, and I'm working on the deck rebuild project. So these are my 3 projects. I cannot do anything else. So videos, deck rebuild, and my Space Breach game. So thank you guys for watching, stopping by. Gamer guy is saying have a good night and keep the videos coming. I will. You take care too. Pound. Have a good night, Wolf. Have a good night, Raichi. Cascoder, thank you for stopping by, Cascoder. Let's set something up and do that podcast episode. Casmith, for you, thank you for the gift and for just sticking around all this many years. I know the last year has been a very slow year for games revealed, but we're picking this back up. So thank you guys. Peace out. Later. Now I gotta bring this over and try to stop it.